We're doing a song of our own, it's only fair.
Well, does everybody know the Jolly Rouge?
Oh,
One of my favorites.
so then, shall we?
From France we get the brandy, from Martinique the rum. Sweet red Cabernet from Italy does come. But the fairest of them all, we boys, the one that meets the day, is made from apples of some mighty bargain. So follow me, lads, cause this ain't no grog or ale. 1 pint down, you'll be swinging in the gale. 5 pints, boy, you'll be shaking in your shoes. We're half seas over on the Jolly Rouge.
She's called the Dreadnought Cider, she's proper and she's fine. And when the day is over, so I wish that she would mine. Or in the dark of winter, or on the summer's eve. One hand given and the other top received.
So follow me, lads, cause this ain't no grog or ale. 1 pint down, you'll be swinging in the gale. 5 pints, buddy, you'll be shaking in your shoes. We're half seas over on the Jolly Rouge. So turn your sails over and bring her hard to port. Find that little star and slide straight into the north.
The wild sun upon your back, the winds are blowing free.
We're rolling up the river, boys, to Ochanuga Beach. So follow me, lads, cause this ain't no grog or ale. 1 pint down, you'll be swinging in the gale. 5 pints, buddy, you'll be shaking in your shoes. We're half seas over on the Jolly Rouge. So you can have a Magners and pour it over ice, or you can have a Strongbow with the sadness that you like. Or join us up the river and we'll set your heart aglow. And how you feel when the real cider starts to flow. So follow me, lads, cause this ain't no grog or ale. 1 pint down, you'll be swinging in the gale. 5 pints, buddy, you'll be shaking in your shoes. We're half seas over on the Jolly Rouge. So follow me, lads, cause this ain't no grog or ale. 1 pint down, you'll be swinging in the gale. 5 pints, buddy, you'll be shaking in your shoes. We're half seas over on the Jolly
Now that the men have had their turn, I have something if you all don't mind. Eve, Elizabeth, Betsy, can I have you join me?
I like to
but I suppose I should only choose just one. But I will need some help, of course. Yes? And in that bog there was a hole, a rare hole, a rotten hole, the hole in the bog down in the valley. Oh. That bog there was a tree, a rare tree, a rotten tree, the tree in the hole in the bog down in the valley. On the tree there was a branch, a rare branch, a rattling branch, with a branch of the tree, and the tree in the hole in the bog down in the valley. Oh. On that branch there was a limb, a rare limb, a rattling limb, the limb in the branch, and the branch in the tree, and the tree in the hole in the bog down in the valley. Oh. And on that limb there was a twig, a rare twig, a rattling twig, the twig in the limb, and the limb in the branch, and the branch in the tree, and the tree in the hole in the bog down in the valley. And on that twig there was a branch, a rare branch, a rattling branch, a nest in the branch, and the branch in the tree, and the tree in the hole in the bog down in the valley. And in that nest there was a bird, a rare bird, a rattling bird, the bird in the nest, and the nest in the twig, and the twig in the limb, and the limb in the branch, and the branch in the tree, and the tree in the hole in the bog down in the valley. In that bird there was an egg, a rare egg, a rattling egg, the egg in the bird, and the bird in the twig, and the twig in the limb, and the limb in the branch, and the branch in the tree, and the tree in the hole in the bog down in the valley. In that egg there was a bird, a rare bird, a rattling bird, the bird in the egg, and the egg in the bird, and the bird in the twig, and the twig in the limb, and the limb in the branch, and the branch in the tree, and the tree in the hole in the bog down in the valley. On that bird there was a feather, a rare feather, a rattling feather. The feathers were the bird and the bird and the twig and the twig and the limb and the limb and the branch and the branch and the tree and the tree and the hole in the bog down in the valley. Well, I must say I do have some chores to attend to. Children!
Well, surely we have time for just one more.
Very well, I will allow it this once.
Well, this one's for the men, and my boys know this one. I thought I heard the old man say, "Leave her, Johnny, leave her. For tomorrow ye will get your pay." And it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is long and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her. Oh, the wind was
Wow, what a beautiful audience. Hello, everyone. It's good to see y'all. Hope it's not too hot. At least it's a little cooler than it was last night. Thank you very much for coming out. My name's Pete DeGregory. I've been blessed with the honor of being the director of 2022 Thunder Over Carolina Historical Drama. Gosh, that was a lot to say and get out. Oh, y'all, and this is Winston. We've determined that he is a loyalist spy. He alerted every single time that the Patriots tried to sneak up on the Loyalists, which you will see later, and hopefully he won't alert everybody this time. So that's his deal. Thank you all for coming. Thanks to all the people who support us. Look in your programs and see who those people are. Be sure to thank them. Go do business with them. We are a 501c nonprofit organization, and all the things we do come from money that we raise by doing this and selling t-shirts. I don't happen to have on one of the t-shirts, but these beautiful people right here. Why don't you stand up and model, please? Those are our t-shirts. They're on sale back there. Please get you one. That helps us be able to put on not only this production, but there's some movies that you can see if you go to the Thunder Over Carolina website or Thunder Over Carolina Facebook page. Check out our movies. They're living history. We're trying to educate people mostly about the Battle of Ramsour's Mill, but also living history about how life was led in the 18th century. Weapons, food, life, how to train dogs. Maybe that'll come later. I just kidding. So thank you. Check those out, please, if you can. I'd like to remind you that Woodmill, our gracious hosts here, it's a beautiful place. It's a wonderful place to, my wife's telling me to shut the heck up and get on with the show. Be sure to go get some of their slushies. They treat us like rock stars here, so we thank them unbelievably much, and we'd like y'all to help us thank them. Get an opportunity. There's a write-up about us in the Lincoln Times today. Go check out the Lincoln Times. Give them a little bit of, I think it's 75 cents, give them a little bit of money for let them know that if they write about Thunder Over Carolina, you can sell some newspapers. So please do that. Folks, just some quick, real business. This is a story about a battle, so there will be a battle. We'll have simulated violence. Hey, we're not done yet. Him and my wife both. Come on. Him and my wife both trying to hurry me out of here, and I want y'all to get to the show also. So there'll be gunfire, simulated violence, fog, flashing lights, all those good things. So just be prepared, they are coming. If you have a cell phone, please turn it off or down so that we don't have to share it with our neighbors. We'd also ask you not to take any flash photography. We mistake that for gunfire, and we all hit the deck, so if you would, please, no flash photography. If you want to snap some pictures and it does not flash, I'm quite okay. Please do tell all the people that you know on your social media that you came and you had a good time. If you don't have a good time, tell them you had a good time anyway so they can come suffer and eat like y'all are today. So thank you very much for coming. We appreciate you more than you will ever know, and I certainly hope you enjoyed the story.
There was a time when there was no strife as we came to know in the form of the American Revolution. We had a period of relative peace after the war with the French. We grew. It was a time where we could sing together, dance together, and dream.
Not here, not where the others may see.
Margaret, everyone knows. We cannot hide it.
I do not intend to hide it, but I do intend to deny you until you give me what I desire.
And what's that, my love? Oh, that.
Yes, that, Joseph Pratt.
Well, now it is my turn to run.
Never knew something could make you run so fast. Come back!
Young love was full of joy and hope. Many of us came to this area to build farms and communities. The land was plentiful, the game thriving. Our men hunted.
All right, easy now, William. Easy. Do not rush it.
Father, please
let me fire the first shot.
No, Reuben, your brother's the eldest. The first shot is his. Now, if he misses,
I will not.
if he misses, the shot is yours.
One more, try it again.
I got it!
No, it's okay.
Farms prospered, families grew, and populations rose. The king called our men to the frontier.
On me, boy! On the red! Quickly!
As the waters of the sea swell and fall, so must the times of life. Our men marched off into battle to fulfill their duty to king and country.
Forward! Hard! Left! 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 Copy! Hop! Left! Pace! Present! Hop! Order! Hop! To arm! To arm! To arm! Quickly, quickly, quickly! First line! Make big! Take aim! Fire! First line kneel! Second line, forward! Make ready! Take aim! Fire!
While the men were off in service of His Majesty, the women were left to tend to the farms and homes. While it was not custom for us to toil in the fields, the absence of the men suffered that it be so, young and old together. Though it was difficult, it gave us the opportunity to become better acquainted with one another. Though at times, we were not the most pleasant of women.
You would think a woman of my age should not have to belabor herself to this point.
You may be well past the point of having much care for your appearance. However, my youth should exclude me from such hard labor. I am not a man, nor do I desire to obtain the appearance of one.
Are you suggesting that my age and lack of burned appearance make me more suited for a man's work?
I did not say that, but perhaps you did.
Now, ladies, must there really be arguing today, or must I serve as justice of the peace?
I have nothing more to say.
I have a lot to say.
As the youthful often do.
If I'm able to tend to a field and take care of animals, can I not fight alongside the men? Alongside my father. He's old and even less able than I.
Fighting is not women's work, nor should it be.
And why not?
Susanna, well, I hold much the same sentiment that you do. There are many things that we can't, there are things that the men can do. We cannot win in a bayonet charge against them as the men can. We cannot run like the men can, and we cannot carry heavy loads as they can.
But we can shoot the enemy just as the men can. We can all die for our cause just as the men.
Die quicker, you mean to say? Get your head out of fantasy, child. You shout against hard labor? You have no idea what hard labor is. You want to go fight? Go then. I am sure you will see more than your fair share of hard labor.
Stop this yelling. There's much to be said for either cause. Can a woman fight? Yes, in a way. I'm a proud shot, and I can handle a rifle as any man can. But do I wish to fight his fight on the battlefield? Lord, I do not. Susanna, God forbid it. I cannot imagine the horrors of a battlefield. Can I support the cause of the Lord in other ways? Most certainly I can. keep yours. But to quarrel over it is calamity.
On bonny banks and lie on bonny banks, where the sun shines bright on Loch Lomond, were me and my true.
Oh no, I did not expect this song to welcome us home.
Christian! You aren't hurt.
I am?
Where are the others?
Are they with you? Did they come with you?
They did. Shouldn't be far along now. We all saw our homes were empty. Could only conclude you all gathered here at the Ramsors.
Mother!
William!
I'm so sorry.
You are sick.
Yes, Mother.
Tell Susanna.
I shall tell her.
Adam! Adam, where's my father?
Susanna? Susanna!
While I do not admire her willfulness, the girl had only her father.
Must you throw insults at the girl even as she mourns?
I meant nothing by it.
Of course you did, or you would not have said it.
Adam, you must refrain.
I am thankful more of us did not lose loved ones. This business of fighting for a king whom we do not believe in is a burden we should not have to bear.
The king knows nothing of what happens in these colonies.
Sure he does. He has representatives.
I hear he has not once stepped foot out of England.
My friend, perhaps it's not wise to speak ill of His Majesty. You don't know where his ears may reach.
I care not for eyes or ears or feet or nostrils.
Please. There are many opinions to be discussed, but not ones at this time.
Instead, let us celebrate this occasion. Let us also mourn for those we lost. And besides, Susanna will need you ladies now more than ever.
Take the high road, and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland of
It was the first rumblings of division amongst us. Nothing deeply concerning at the time, but the stage was being set for the whirlwind of the next few years. We buried Susanna's father on a windy day. I remember the wind because the flowers would not stay upright. And even with his strong voice, the Reverend's words were largely indiscernible, being carried away on the gusts. One thing we all heard without fail was Susanna's wailing. The wind could not carry that away.
I'm not sure I would do it any differently if it were my Alexander.
I find it odd, really.
What?
Well, she never refers to her father's passing. She only refers to him as absent or away for the season as though he'll return.
Well, she must face the world at some time as to not fall into insanity.
She faces the world every day.
I mean, she must face her friends. We miss her and her hard head.
Joseph spoke with my father last night.
He did.
Yes!
That can only mean one thing, Margaret.
Marriage.
Congratulations, Margaret. That's marvelous. Joseph is such a sweet young man.
Well, it hasn't happened yet, but it's only a matter of time.
Well, how much time? You'll find men are quite good at delaying marriage.
I've kept on him about it, and besides, Joseph knows the right time for anything. He has that gift.
Well, he's the only one then. Don't get me started about my Jacob. He only knows one speed. Slow.
Well, I sure do hope it works out for you, Margaret. Marriage is one of life's greatest necessities. But always remember, a man has more on his mind than just you. Keep that in your heart, and you'll never hold any bitter resentment towards him.
And remind me why I spend so much time with you.
Because you love me,
I do.
and I'm a voice of reason.
You are, I suppose.
Now, Margaret, when Joseph does propose, cherish it. Cherish every moment with that dear young man.
Thank you, Anne.
Eve, you may be my sister, but if you don't start actually helping, I will have to disown you.
I feel like I'm in the way. What is there for me to do?
Oh, but we're all in the way. But being productive? Here! Why don't you sweep the floor?
Betsy, you would have your sister sweep.
She asked for something to do.
Sweeping was not what I had in mind.
Well, then you should not have asked.
You told me to help.
Betsy, do not be petty.
I'm not being petty.
You are. You have always been this way.
So the girl who married a loyalist.
We are warless. Our entire family is loyalist, Betsy, and you were too. Until you married Christian Reinhardt.
Oh, Eve, if we continue this conversation, it's going down a very dark path.
barrels. 92,000 pounds.
I saw it coming. Any thinking man could see it coming.
Tis the tea I mourn. Perhaps one could take this teacup and dip it in the harbor and come back with a nice brew.
It's a bit cold and salty. I prefer sugar myself.
It is a shame the Sons of Liberty have gained such notoriety. They want the attention. Dressed as Mohawk Indians. Who are they fooling?
It wasn't a matter of fooling anyone. They're trying to send a message.
And what message do you suppose that was? It was not a new tax, and it was not intended to offend the colonies.
Yes, intentions and consequences are two separate things.
Well, that may be so, but those consequences are the result of wild liberty men believing that they are above the law.
The Sons of Liberty would not have been necessary had the East India Tea Company not been given monopoly on the product. They were asking for trouble, John Schubert.
How so? Was not the company indebted to England? That monopoly was meant to repay that debt.
Yes, but in turn, other tea sellers are then shut. Not to mention its taxation without representation.
The Sons of Liberty are heroes. for what they did. Somebody must have the gall to stand up to the tyranny of the British.
The Sons of Liberty are a roguish bunch deserving of lynching.
That's a bit harsh, wouldn't you say, Kurt?
No more harsh than their business of tarring and feathering, I would
Gentlemen.
say.
Could not help but overhear your conversation.
John.
Well, that does not surprise me one bit, John Moore.
That's Colonel John Moore, Christian Reinhardt.
Oh, and we're only reminded every time we see you in this bright red coat.
Yes, I admit I do indulge in the flaunting of my uniform, but I am not the only one here wearing it.
I can only assume you're speaking of me.
I am.
Well, I've grown more weary as of late, if I'm being truthful. Uniform weighs heavy now. There was a time that it did not.
Well, that is something a man in the king's uniform should not get used to saying.
You're here.
And why not?
Adam Reed, see you still have that temper about you?
I believe what Alexander's trying to say is that war wears a man down regardless of what uniform he carries.
Ensign Joseph Patton, have you considered becoming an officer in His Majesty's Army? Young, brave men like yourself are sorely needed, especially with trouble brewing up north.
A few years ago, perhaps, but when I returned from the frontier, I planned marriage.
Governor Lord Dunmore's business.
Yes, sir.
Well, young love would certainly hinder a man's will to serve. Speaking of service, Jacob Ramseur.
John Moore, speaking to me.
Yes, surprising, I know. What about your land? The mill is a fair piece of land that could be of great use in His Majesty's service. My own property was confiscated by the General Assembly, which I rightfully abhor.
John, considering how close my farm is to Jacob's mill, I would only assume that my family would be disturbed as well.
Yes, I understand your objection, but if I may implore.
I do not believe Jacob is in any such mood for this talking.
You speak for Jacob?
Just not usually, but in this instance, his words are mine. And Sean, I am in no mood to have you and your king's men on my property.
Yeah, well, you might not be ready, but there is coming a time when every man must decide where he stands and be prepared to fight if he must.
I agree with the Colonel's sentiments. War is close, and I fear what will happen to those who do not know where they stand.
To tell a man where to stand is a bold thing, Joseph.
Now, I mean no offense, but a man can be torn to either side with much persuasion and circumstance, in spite of his better judgment at times.
I admire your wisdom, Ensign Patton.
Thank you, sir.
Joseph, be careful. It's this man you speak to.
You'll have more respect for my uncle, sir.
Respect.
Is that funny for us?
No, gentlemen, please, forgive me. It seems I have overstayed my welcome. Well, perhaps we'll talk another time when there's less alcohol.
Here. It seems the time is late. I will also be gone. Good night to all.
Yes, the same for me. I've had enough discussion for one night.
I have seen and heard enough.
Father!
We all miss you. Things haven't been the same since you've hidden yourself.
There's just so much work to do. Even more so since my father left and I have to keep the farm running.
Well, I trust that you'll keep an eye on yourself and not forego your own health. Joseph, how'd you find us?
It's not hard. You've taken so many long walks, you've beaten a path.
I didn't realize.
Margaret, I must speak with you.
Yes.
Well, it's hard to say, really.
You can say it.
Well, Margaret,
Yes.
you know I love you.
Yes, I know you. Yes, I know you love me, Joseph Patton. What are you trying to say to me?
I have been called away to service,
Oh.
to the frontier. They have been raised by the Cherokee, and Governor Lord Dunmore of Virginia is raising a militia to squash the raids.
I see.
It seems I have hurt you.
No, I'm only a bit surprised.
Surprised?
Well, you've only just arrived. I thought perhaps you were looking to settle.
Margaret, I'm a soldier. There are things I want, things that I truly want. But there's a greater burden that I must bear. Protect our land, our friends, our families.
You have more on your mind than me.
What do you mean?
Nothing.
There's much expected of me. Forgive me, please.
There's nothing to forgive, Ensign Joseph Patton. I will be here when you get back.
So Joseph Patton left to continue his service, and those who remained tried to maintain a degree of normalcy with all the news coming in from the north. When the Sons of Liberty dumped the tea in the harbor, many saw that as the start of war, albeit in a non-violent way. It was not hard to understand why we began to see loyalists divided amongst friends and family.
To my boys, nay, men, it makes me proud to be your father and share in this drink. To the colonies!
Huzzah!
May our brothers in the north be moved by the hand of God Almighty.
To the colonies!
To the colonies!
Father, what drink is that?
That is New England Kill Devil, son. Only a real man can handle it. Reuben, you did not drink?
Father, I will not drink to rebellion. As long as I have my wits about me, I will only drink to King George.
Very well then. Have your drink to the king. To a king you've never met nor will never meet and cares not one whit about you. Are you forgetting something?
What?
To the king.
Father, do not encourage his nonsense.
Well,
To the king!
To the king!
to the king! I love you regardless, my son. Never be afraid to stand up for what you truly believe.
Did I hear a toast to the king?
You did. My brother has become a traitor to his family.
Our whole family was torn until a few months ago. And I'm the traitor. You should all be ashamed of yourselves.
Bold words from a boy surrounded by waves.
I'm not afraid of any of you. Our county is largely torn. We have the numbers and the power.
But you lack the common sense.
That's enough from you. That's enough temper for one.
I will not be seen here with traitors.
Reuben, what's wrong?
This place is infested with rebels.
Just as I told you. All rebel scum will get what's coming to them. This is who you've been spending all your time with? Kurt Moore? You believe yourself to be so bold? Well then tell me. What would you say to the king if he stood before you right now?
We would say that we are capable of governing ourselves without parliament or the king.
No, you would bow your head so low that your nose would scrape the feces off this tavern floor.
Or perhaps I would drop my trousers and offer him the opportunity to kiss my hairy rebel arse.
Do it, Reap. Plunge it right through my heart. Show them all what kind of man you really are.
Tory scum.
Treason, sedition, rebel, filth.
Enough! Kurt, stop. There's enough of this.
Uncle John, I didn't see you there.
No. I told you better than to start this kind of trouble. You and Adam used to be friends.
But they were spouting treasonous
Yeah, I
talks.
heard it. All of it. It's time to go home. I will see you there myself. Gentlemen, I'm sorry. It shouldn't happen. Nothing needs to leave this tavern.
Reuben. Sit down, son.
I do not condone this fighting, but he does have a point. There should never be talk of rebellion in public.
I will say anything that I please.
Adam! Hasn't your temper gotten you in enough trouble for one day? Besides, what would Susanna think if she saw you acting like this?
Alexander, you know I haven't spoken to Susanna in weeks.
Mr. Shukri, what Adam is trying to say is what so many of us have been feeling, that we are capable of self-government. Why the delay alone between identifying a problem, sending word to England, waiting for word back, and then finally being able to act on their instructions is crippling our businesses?
Hear, hear. Well, we probably are capable of governing ourselves, but that is beside the point. We are colonists, and therefore subject to the crown, to Great Britain. And therefore we must abide by parliamentary procedure.
Abide by parliamentary procedure when we have no representation on our own part. I cannot fathom it.
Well, we probably do need our own representatives. That may be the case, but that is not grounds for rebellion or worse, war. I think there are better ways to handle it.
Sometimes war is the only way. Joseph, what's happened? Mr. Shuford, quick, some water.
I'd rather fight 10 dogs than one Cherokee. The wound is not too deep.
You came all the way here for help?
Not for help, no. I must see Margaret.
William, Adam, Margaret, next door with her father having a meal. Go get her for us.
Right away.
I never knew you to be one for the dramatics.
It is something I avoided if all possible.
How are things going out there?
The frontier is rough. And with continued northern squabbling, we won't remain in touch for long.
Joseph, while you were out there, did you meet Daniel Bloom?
I did, but only briefly.
Can you tell me something about him?
Well, with his beaver felt hat, he appeared much taller than he was.
Joseph, are you hurt?
No, I'm fine.
Joseph, I did not know when I'd see you again, if ever. Oh, how I missed you, Joseph Patton.
Margaret, forgive me for my appearance and my timing, but I've had a long time to think about this.
Yes?
Margaret, I promise I will never leave your side. Margaret Crawford, will you grant me the honor of calling you Miss Margaret Patton?
Yes!
In spite of the excitement of the engagement between Joseph and Margaret, the new strife between Adam Reed and Kurt Moore was only the beginning of trouble here. At the time, the trials of our northern neighbors had not yet fully affected the Carolinas. Parliament enacted various taxes and tariffs that affected us, it's true, but we were isolated from so much of it. The storm was coming for us, but we did not let it hinder our lives. Time passed, and a few months later, we gathered for a backcountry wedding.
Don't worry.
Sit you down. And she'll be here. Reverend, do you have everything prepared?
I believe we're all finally settled, yes.
Susanna! Don't stop everything for me. I'm still alive.
It's so good to have you here with us.
I'm here to watch my best friend be married.
Let me take you to her.
Susanna.
That's not here, not now. Not now. Everyone, it is time.
If I were laid on Greenland's coast, and in my arms embraced my lass, warm against the winter's frost, too soon the half-year's night would pass, and I would love you all the day. Every night we'd kiss and play, if with me you'd fondly stray, over the hills and far away.
Please be seated. In these turbulent times, there is no finer institution than that of holy matrimony. And it is an institution ordained by God, and he must have a sense of humor, for he makes men consider that without the women in our lives, we would be free to do all the things that make us happy. And yet, the things we enjoy would mean nothing without someone with whom to share them with. And as such, he has decreed that we are to navigate the currents of this life together, to share our sorrows as well as our joys. Joseph Patton, do you take this woman to be your wife, to follow God's holy ordinance in the holy estate of matrimony, to love, honor, and protect her in sickness and in health, for as long as you both may live?
I do.
Margaret Crawford, do you take this man to be your husband? following God's holy ordinance in the holy estate of matrimony, to love, honor, and protect him, in sickness and in health, for as long as you both may live.
I do.
Then by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you man and wife. You may now kiss the bride.
Margaret, what a beautiful bride. May God bless all of your days together.
Eve, do not take it personal.
Is it that easy for you?
Well, it has to be, or else I would go mad.
But I am not you. It hurts. I am treated like a pariah for not sharing wig sympathies.
Susanna,
Oh, you're hurting my arm.
please, I only need a word with you.
Well, then say it and then leave me alone.
Why do you insult me? I have shown you nothing but respect.
Respect?
Would you rather be courted by that filthy rebel, Adam Reed?
I am a rebel myself, Kurt. Will you call me guilty also? And besides, I cannot be courted by anyone in public without permission. It's not appropriate.
Permission? Permission from whom? Your father is dead.
Savannah!
Now,
We must be calm here. Now, you don't look like Adam Reed.
What's that supposed to mean?
Only that Susanna here has been taken by the wonderful and handsome Adam Reed.
Mrs. Reinhardt, if you do not mind.
Oh, but I do mind. And you're causing Susanna much discomfort. Oh, Margaret, you deserve so much happiness. Thank you, my dearest friend. How about a song and dance?
Tell me, Ma, when I go home, boys won't leave the girls alone. They pull my hair, they stole my comb. That's alright till I get home. She is handsome, she is pretty. She's a pal of Fast City. She is talking 1, 2, 3. Please would you tell me who is she? Tell me, Ma, when I go home, won't leave the girls alone. They pull my hair, they stole my comb. That's alright till I get home. She is handsome, she is pretty. She's a pal of Fast City.
To dismay the time we're having. There's still more merriment to be had. Leave, Reverend. It is not the time. Leave, boys. Tell me, Ma, when I go home, won't leave the girls alone. All my hair is still like home. That's all right till I get home. She is handsome, she is
The return of Susanna was met with much praise and relief, if I am being honest. But it also stirred up an even stronger rivalry between Adam Reed and Kurt Moore, which was most unwelcome. Elsewhere, in Philadelphia, the First Continental Congress met in order to find a solution to the pressure created by the British. This pressure was created in response to the rebellion against the heavy taxes levied on the colonies. After much debate and disagreement, the Congress decided to merely ask the British to lessen the pressure. This request was met with much disdain and refused by the king. And after the colonies began to raise their own forces, he decided to multiply his own military presence. The war in the North was about to begin. Meanwhile, life continued in what was to become Lincoln County.
Try it again. You almost had it that last time. Oop. One more. Okay. Trouble at the mill?
I'm not sure what's more tiring. Helping Jacob, having to listen to those men babble about which side they're on, why. They act like the battle's inevitable, right here in our own backyard.
You do not feel it is inevitable?
I certainly don't think it's impossible when I hear those childish fools threatening each other with their silly little knives and hammers.
Oh, like the hammer you so famously carry around.
Betsy, I've never had the desire to crush a man's head with it.
You may before this is all over.
I seem to relish in that idea.
You know how I feel.
I do. Though at times I wish I did not.
I was raised in a statutory home. My patriot sympathies were very much frowned upon. And when I decided to marry a patriot,
Oh, your own father never held me in high regard.
he respected you. You didn't turn his precious daughter into a rebel.
Who had the honor?
He did. With his total opposition to with anyone he disagreed. The man couldn't have a civil conversation without his anger boiling over.
Fortunately, Betsy, there's a lot of that going around right now. Now, why did you choose to side with the rebels on this one?
Is it not in our very nature to rebel?
I would only hope for you to restore your bonds with your family.
But dear husband, they want no part of me. It is I who am cast aside.
What of your sister Eve?
My sister married a chauffeur.
She is your family.
No. You and our children are my family.
Betsy, we may not see eye to eye on this. What I find admirable is your courage in the stance you have taken.
Is that so?
It is.
Well, perhaps I have a mind to march down to the mill and spout some trees on the top for the fun of it.
Oh, I would not fear one bit if someone came knocking that you did not want here.
And don't you forget, if there's one thing my father taught me, it's how to handle my own problems.
Speaking of raising, where are my little ones? Not seen them all day. Where are they, Betsy?
Have you ever here?
Also, Papa, right here.
Betsy, I hear them, but I don't see them. Where
must
are
have
they?
lost them.
I can see you. Can you see me?
Oh, there you are. Why were you hiding from your father?
I would not hide it.
Oh, you fooled me. Michael, what troubles you, son?
I heard Colonel Moore talking. He said there was going to be a war.
The bad men are coming.
No, son. No one is coming to hurt us. I promise. There are just some people who feel that what they believe in is worth fighting over. Now some believe we should side with the king, whereas others do not.
And some men, like Mr. Moore and Mr. Reed, just care a little bit more than others. And sometimes they care so much that they say mean things or they do mean things.
Would you fight, Papa?
I would only ever fight if it meant protecting all of you.
Children, put your things away. We'll head in for dinner in a moment. Christian, I need a word with you.
Betsy.
While I do not disagree that standing behind your actions does not make a bad man, this war has created some very bad people. Why would you lie to our children and tell them that no one is coming here to hurt us?
Betsy, I did not lie to them. I do not think anyone will make an attempt to harm our family. I firmly believe war will never touch our land.
I do not believe it is so. But you may be able to convince the little ones of that. Michael is nearly of age to be joining you if something is to happen.
I will have word with him.
Please, make sure he's getting more of his information from you than
for now.
Let our children be children.
Very well, I suppose. Here. Race him!
No, Phil, I like better shoulder.
Time passed with little conflict amongst the neighbors of Lincoln County, but tensions remained. Those tensions were magnified when Joseph Patton intercepted Post Rider Israel Bissell of Massachusetts Bay, who was on his way from Mecklenburg County. Urgent news was to be delivered.
I do not like it here.
I would like to be home with our children.
Let us hear this news, and then we will leave together.
The way the other women are looking.
Well, I'll stand on the other side and be out of sight. We will not be long.
What is the holdup? We've been here for nearly an hour and still nothing.
Yeah, patience, please. The Post Rider will be here momentarily.
Who are you to stand before us? Did you not forsake your military duty for marriage?
For love? Yes.
There you have it. A coward pulled away from manhood by a woman.
I have no quarrel with you. Kurt Moore, did you not try to court Susanna at his own wedding? And what service do you partake in aside from being a loudmouth Tory?
I will kill you one day, Adam Reed. Be sure of that.
I look forward to the fight.
Fools, keep your tongues. There are women present. Most notably my darling wife.
Now, do you assume we cannot handle the babblings of a couple of childish men?
Ma'am, I only assume that a man must show a woman the proper due respect she deserves.
Very well. I'll allow you that assumption.
The Post Rider's here!
Oh, fine.
Mr. Israel Bissell from Massachusetts Bay is bearing urgent news that we all must hear.
I was sent by Mr. Samuel Adams to spread the word throughout the colonies. On the morning of the 19th of April, the British Army marched to take the provincial stores at Concord. Our militia met on Lexington Common to decide how to respond. Upon our approach, the British commander ordered us to lay down our weapons and disperse.
As they have every right to do.
Without waiting for a response from our militia or our commander, the first line of British regulars fired upon us.
Outrageous lie.
Striking, our commander ordered a retreat. But as our men were running off of the green, the redcoats fired again. They struck many of our men in the back. We did nothing to provoke them, yet they fired upon us anyway.
Mr. Bissell! Mr. Bissell, was this intended only for the member at arms? Was this meant for every citizen of Massachusetts?
What does it matter? They fired upon us. That's a declaration of war itself.
Right.
The orders were given to the militia, but were intended for everyone within earshot, including the citizenry. The redcoats were a surly bunch of lobsterbacks who seemed just to be itching for a fight.
The king is a madman. Who in his right mind can condone him?
Tongue out.
No. How can we stand here and openly discuss war with the crown? This is treason.
John, please, we must stroll.
Not once,
This is treason. This is
not once has the king or parliament done anything to answer our pleas. They continue to unjustly raise taxes and will give us no say in the governing of our own colony.
The king does not have to negotiate with his subjects. He was appointed to the throne by God himself.
King George is a tyrant. He deserves nothing more than to be hanged above his throne with his guts splayed for all to see.
If it were not for the crown, we very well may be subjects of France. And you all scream and grumble about being taxed. You should be grateful.
Grateful for a tyrannical government? That is insanity, Mr. Shuford, and you know it. I heard you say we need proper representation in our party. Do you deny it?
I do not deny it. Any man in his right mind would desire proper representation. But that is beside the point. I declared my loyalty to the crown, to his majesty, because the land which I call home was granted to me by the king.
Not everybody
And Mr.
has.
Speaker, I'm fully against the war.
Mr. Shuford may be against the war, but I welcome it. The rebels in Concord got what they deserve, and may they be hunted like the rebel dogs that they are!
Hey, enough of this madness! What are we here? Children, can we please keep the peace? Both of you!
Why should we have peace after this news?
Only cowards call for peace.
Quiet! I have more news still! There is more news to be heard. Silence!
Let him speak.
I delivered this same message to the community leaders in Mecklenburg County. And after receiving this news, and after very heated debate and discussion, and very careful thought, they declared independence from Great Britain and set in order the terms of their decisions. This is true. It has been made official. Other colonies shall soon follow. These resolves annul all laws originating from the king or parliament and in the recognition of the crown's power in this colony.
Huzzah!
Ever there was a doubt of war, who can now deny it?
God have mercy on the lot of us.
Resolved that we, the citizens of Mecklenburg County, do hereby dissolve the political bands which have connected us with the mother country and absolve ourselves from all allegiance to the British crown, abjuring all political connection with that nation that have wantonly trampled on our rights and liberties and inhumanely shed the innocent blood of Americans at Lexington.
There's nothing about those men!
Resolved that we do hereby declare ourselves a free and independent people. Are and of right ought to be a sovereign and
Men, if that can be what you call yourselves after this shameful demonstration, war is upon us. A line has been drawn. Do we choose sides now and let God handle the rest, or can we find peace in this time? Go. Pray with your family. For we do not know at what hour God will visit his judgment upon us. May God have mercy on us all.
Here, Reuben, make sure he comes home.
Father, release me!
What is he doing? He needs to come home.
Come.
Resolved that whosoever directly or indirectly abetted, or in any way, form, or manner countenanced the uncharted and dangerous invasion of our rights, as claimed by Great Britain, is an enemy to this county, to America, and to the inherent and inalienable rights of man. The line in the sand has been drawn. This is war. Are you with me, friend?
With God as my witness, I will stand by you till the end.
At times like these, men rise or fall in greatness, guided by the winds of destiny, or time, or by the hand of God. These are the men that we now see. There were brave men and cowardly men, noble men and brutal men, good and evil on both sides. We had hoped that the storm might avoid us, but it only grew darker and more dangerous with every passing day.
I do not know what can make Reuben act in such a way. He did not get that temper from me. That must be your temper coming out of him, Meredith. He did not get that from me.
I beg your pardon. Our boys are at each other's throats, and you are the one that is provoking it.
I am. I've merely told my boys to stand up for what they believe in, as any man should.
Well, maybe you should not.
How so?
Where's Reuben right now?
With that Tory scum.
Watch your mouth and stay out of this.
He is with Kurt Moore.
Why?
He was deceived by the boy.
At your behest.
At my behest?
You are the one who's always telling our boys to stand up for what they believe in. Maybe if you hadn't and kept him away from Kurt Moore, he would be home with us right now instead of plotting how he's going to detract himself from our family. I am sorry. I love you, Alexander. But this is war. We cannot brush this off as a jest about how our boys get their anger from their mother.
You're right. I love you too. I'm sorry. He is out there because of me.
He is out there because we raised two strong-willed boys. We must not bicker, but plan how we're going to get them home and keep ourselves safe.
You're not too old to hug your father now, are you?
Okay, but only this once. Please do not tell anyone. Mother, I'm sorry I worried you. I just wanted to protect our home as father did in the past.
You are a good boy, a good man, and so is your brother, no matter how loud he seems. He just feels he is not being heard as loudly as everyone else.
Well, do me a favor. Run and check on the others. Make sure everyone got home okay. Especially that hothead Adam Reed. Your mother and I need some alone time.
What are we going to do with those boys? They remind me so much of you when we first met. You were quite the hothead yourself.
And you were quite the looker. Still are.
You sure know how to flatter a girl.
Well, that is what they all tell me.
Excuse me?
On bonny banks and by yon bonny lakes, where the sun shines bright on Oklahoma, where me and my true love will never meet again. On the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond.
Good afternoon.
Oh, you startled me.
What were you singing?
An old ballad that my mother used to sing me.
There seems no joy in it.
There is joy, only it's bittersweet.
Tell me about it.
Well, it's a song to comfort those who may lose their love in battle. Before going to heaven, they make a stop back home to say goodbye. She tells her lover that even in death they will be together again, and I've always found comfort in it.
That death is only temporary? What are you knitting?
You're going going to be a father, Joseph Pappy. I cannot lose you.
It is in such moments where we find our sanity. The hug of a friend, the kiss of a loved one. The reassurance that despite the clouds of worry and doubt, hope in each other remains. As the war in the North became stalemate, it became increasingly apparent that the South would soon be thrown into the foray of battle. British General Charles Cornwallis turned his attentions to the Carolinas in hopes that he could press Washington's army into submission. What he did not anticipate was the amount of patriot sympathy spreading throughout the southern colonies.
I shall go meet Colonel Moore.
Sir, if I may, please forgive me. We'll be there momentarily.
Colonel Moore.
Please forgive him for this. This explains the wrong.
Time now.
For our campaign to work properly, without a huge loss of life, and without major mistrust, we must raise militiamen for the crown immediately. As you are the leaders of your communities, I share with you that General Clinton hopes to intimidate the southern colonies so that they do not join in the fighting with the rebellious northern ones. You, therefore, must go to your homes and raise more men for the militia. Impress upon them that the king is very forgiving and is eager to welcome the colonies back with open arms.
Well, Cornwallis, sir, I wonder what advice your lordship would dispense upon my situation. I command a small militia in a county that is rife with rebels. I fear we will not raise many militiamen.
Lieutenant Colonel Moore, I would tell you to explain to your people that Great Britain is their mother country. Without direct ties to her, they cannot hope to enter into the world.
Sir, with respect, you have not seen our situation.
Lieutenant Colonel, I understand why your men respect you, though your record on the battlefield leaves much to be desired.
Many factors have led to unfortunate conclusions on the field of battle, but sir, that is not the issue at hand.
I do not need to see your situation to know it well enough. This is but one of 13 colonies, colonies which will splinter and fracture once they are no longer united behind a common enemy. You must tell your people that the outlook is bleak in the present fight, and their only hope for a future is to side with the crown and allow our army to march north and face the rebel Washington.
I will tell them, sir, but I must reiterate my position. These men are rife with anger toward the crown. They're a nest of hornets, so to speak.
Can hornets be subdued or even killed?
It is difficult, but possible.
You are facing a band of ragtag rebels with pitchforks and hammers. How much difficulty can they possibly pose?
Sir, I live amongst these people. I know their resolve. It will take more than a little motivation to squash this rebellion.
What, then, do you propose? Or do you intend to waste more of my time?
If I may inquire about enlistment bonuses. Money and motivation go well together when trying to raise a militia.
Very well then. 60 guineas each as an incentive to sign. Privates would be paid at standard rate of 6 pence a day. Divide the rest as you see fit. All are to be trained in garrison, but whatever you do not engage the rebels. If provoked, leave and come and join with us in the back country. We must take Camden and Charlotte before marching on the other rebellious parts of North Carolina. Now then, I am to retire. If you have any further questions, present yourself to my aid, or send word to myself or Major Todd, who commands my dragoons.
It was difficult to discern the thoughts that Colonel Moore possessed in his pursuit of a strong defense against the so-called rebels of Lincoln County. In my estimation, he was not a bad man, but he was a man who held his own views with great passion and fervor, and that was why he was so disliked by the Patriots here. He was a formidable figure, and we all knew just how dangerous he could be. Before the war, we held far more community gatherings, but the constant strain led many of us to come together for a joyful occasion. We gathered at the Reinhardt homestead for a mandatory good time. We would find it short-lived and dangerous.
Well, so it looks as if I started with 2 left hands. I must say my work is quite exquisite.
Exquisite? Are you blind as well as having 2 left hands?
Kind and cruel. I'm sorry, I had to. Hold yours up. Oh. Though I hate to say it, made only as you could do.
Thank you.
Look at mine. Meredith, thank God Alexander can afford you one.
I think it's nice. It has character.
Thank you.
What are you doing here?
Quilting?
I see that. I asked where you do it.
Quilting, I said. May we see it? Hold it up. That's gorgeous, Eve.
Exquisite. What say you, Betsy?
Not half bad for a Tory.
Are you saying Tories are less adept at quilting?
Oh, dear sister. In my experience, Tories are less adept at everything.
My pony lies over the ocean. My pony lies over the sea. Jacob, oh, buddy.
I believe we've had too many.
Maybe one bottle.
More than too many by the looks of it. I hate to be the one to pass judgment, but I must ask you, what made you decide to shun your service?
I gave my time and almost my life to service. I felt it right to settle down and start a family.
I hate to be the one to say it, but there will become a time when you are asked to serve again.
Alexander, I do not see the need to make Joseph question the decisions he has made.
Every man should question their decision. I know I do. Christian, the same will fall on you, my friend. You claim neutrality, but there is no such thing, especially in war.
You make your sons choose.
I raised my boys not to stand on the fence post and watch everyone else take action.
Brothers and sisters, may I have your attention? Adam Reed has an announcement he would like to make. Well, this should be quick, so I should draw it out.
I'm here today as Susanna Siegel to be my wife.
Oh my. Well, a toast to the eventual union between these two who have found so much love amidst all the hatred that is afoot. To Adam and Susanna. Huzzah! And now for a song and dance.
Oh, yes, dance. Alexander, surely you would be my best man.
Oh, of course, of course.
Yeah. Now I must dance.
You'll join me? Oh, I guess.
Well, it's all for me grog, it's golly jolly grog. All for my beer and tobacco. Well, I spent all my tin on the lassie drinking. But across the western ocean I'm a swander. Well, that is my shirt, my noggin shirt. All sorts of beer and tobacco. Well, the collar was worn and the seats they all were torn. And the tail it wasn't such a bad the feather. Well, it's all for me, jolly, all for my beer and tobacco. Well, I spent all my tin on some lassie drinking.
Charlestown has fallen! Charlestown has fallen!
Wait!
Charlestown has fallen!
Wait!
Charlestown has fallen in the hands of Lord Cornwallis! The invasion of South has begun!
When did this happen? You must be lying. Hear me now! I am calling up all loyal subjects to the crown. By order of General Cornwallis, the Lincoln County Loyalist Militia is calling up all men to meet on the 10th of June, Wednesday, at Indian Creek. All those still loyal to the subject of the crown should attend. This is my engagement party. There are no Tories here, only patriots to the American colonies. I was not talking to you, Reek. Your disloyalty is widely known. You would not be allowed in His Majesty's fighting forces anyway. Fortunately, you do not speak for everyone. All those interested will be paid handsomely for signing their names.
We do not want to
I
sign
might
it.
get out of here. Alexander, you talk some sense into this kid. Christian, Joseph, Jacob, you are all reasonable men. Is what I am asking too much? We fought together. Have I not been a friend to all of you? You are no friends.
Listen, you have come here uninvited. You're welcome to your sympathies. They are not shared.
No, I do not believe that. Do not let fear keep any of you from doing what is right for king and country. You are the ones spreading fear, poisoning the minds of these people. Is there anyone here with a brain who I can speak to? How dare you! This is exactly why I am here raising an army for the crown. Adam Reed was a ruffian and a brute, and you all know it as well as I know. Come out to fight for your king. Have some sense, for heaven's sake. I plead with you all. To continue in rebellion is a fool's folly. You're a fool. I have been given assurance by Lord Cornwallis himself that the king stands ready to forgive any insurrection and to reinstate you all his full rights as subjects of the crown. Damn you, Adam Reed! This is treason! I have tried to be patient with you, but you leave me no choice. I hereby sentence you to the death you so boldly deserve.
No!
Alexander!
No! No! Please! Tory trash! Take his head! Send it back to the king where he came from! We were friends, John Moore, and you killed him!
Alexander, be with your husband. I did not come here for a fight. But you have one now. That shot was meant for you. But you missed, and now you're a dead man.
This is not over, John Moore. I will see you soon, then.
Get off my farm, John.
Reuben, let's go.
Reuben, come home.
Reuben,
Please come home.
let's
Reuben, no. Meredith. You're full, Henry. Why would you let him go?
Let us take Alexander down to the mill. We can't leave him like this. And God forgive us.
Listen, everyone. We must make preparations. We can ignore this no longer. The king's men, they're all getting ready for war. Now we have to as well. Alexander.
Son? Thank you. Let this be heard now and by everyone. John Moore is a dog. It deserves no mercy. I will go to his camp in Indian Creek. I will find out what they're planning. William. William, are you with me? Boy, think.
Meredith, with all due respect, she's not leaving.
The war had come to Lincoln County. Colonel Moore's summons had drawn many loyalists to his cause. Soon, there would be so many men that they would leave Indian Creek and they would set camp up on the grounds around Jacob Ramsor's mill. A storm had been set in motion. And soon all of us, Whigs and Tories, would be caught up in its current.
Gentlemen! Sir. Thank you all for coming. Your continued support for His Majesty is appreciated.
It means more to me than you know. As you know, Charlestown has fallen to the British. General Cornwallis is firmly entrenched in South Carolina. Washington and his men have just suffered a horrible winter. Many of his troops have fled, and those who remain are ill-equipped, lack proper clothing, and can barely keep themselves motivated to fight. One or two more decisive victories should bring this war to a conclusion, and we have the men and the power to bring such a victory. Major Welsh, do you have anything to add?
Of course. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here to form a provincial army, a militia. Our task is to dispel any threat to the main army's advance. Lord Cornwallis is only a few score miles away, should we need his assistance.
What about compensation? The men I came with said there'd be compensation.
There's a bonus payable when you sign up, regular wages as you serve, and you will be further rewarded by the crown after the fighting is over.
Will there even be a fight?
With the death of Alexander Simpson, it seems the rebels have lost their urge to fight. Son, the death of your father was truly tragic, but with the effect it has had, it was a necessary loss.
Yes, sir.
Tell me who killed your father.
Adam Reed. The bullets went for him, but my father took it.
That's right. He took it for men who did not deserve your father's sacrifice.
Sir, now they smell on the road. They were spying on us.
This is unexpected.
You grew up here with that. Now here you are behaving like a madman. This man is a prisoner and should be treated as such, with dignity.
What does it matter, Mr. Shooper? He's marked for death. Why delay it?
Sit down. Sit down, Murdo. I will sit you down myself.
I do not want this act. I do not want to lose my community. But this has to be done for the crown. I will not put anything above what is right. Disgusting! This man has marked himself a traitor. And we will show him what is done to traitors. Take him with us. We will meet at Ramsur's mill to begin training. Get him out of my sight. William, and as for you, your father was a good, sensible man. You are not your father. Shame on you, boy. Go home to your mother. Come on, man.
It still smells like him. I have to finish mending it before he gets home.
I won't stay long. How has Meredith been the past few days?
Oh, Reverend, I truly do not know. Alexander was everything to her.
Please make sure that she gets her rest. And pray for her. Now she needs rest as well as our faith and our love.
Her love will keep her, Reverend.
He has made his allegiance. To hell with him, Mother. He cares more for his new family.
He is your brother. I do not care if he sells this family for 30 pieces of silver. He deserves your love.
I hope he dies a most painful death.
Get out of my house. Go! Get out of my sight.
Prince Adam, did he come back with you?
Colonel Moore has captured him. He plans to put him to death if he is not already.
It can't be true. Are you certain?
I am.
No, we have to do something. I will not stand here and let this happen. Go retrieve your husbands and bring them back here. We will do what it takes to save Adam. We'll bring him back home, Susanna. I promise. I have to finish fixing it before he comes home.
This is no simple solution. 1,000 men, you say? William?
Yes, I believe so, but it could be more by now.
Adam's in a situation he's put on himself. If his death is to happen, then what have we to do with it?
How can you say that? He's one of us. If we call ourselves traitors, let us all be traitors. Together. Adam belongs to us, and as such, he cannot be let to die by the hands of a monster like John Moore.
This is war. Death is inevitable. Be it the best of us or the worst of us.
And right now, you are the worst of us.
I'm on your side, Susanna, but I'm not willing to let panic overthrow reasoning.
You are a coward. What do you know about reason? Please, we must stay calm here. We will figure this out.
What's to figure out? We have, what, 5 men against 1,000? We can hardly just march in there and take him.
Can we not?
What do you mean, Joseph?
Well, I venture to say we're not yet at war. Moore is raising a militia to prevent us from rising up, not to squash us, as we are, as Jacob said, only 5 men.
Right, so what's to stop us from just going in there and requesting his release?
At my age, you'll not see me standing off against the likes of Colonel Moore. I'm not loyal to the crown, but I'm also not a fool.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention Adam's fervor for independence and his knowledge of Moore's camp and the knowledge he must have gained while being held prisoner there.
William, how much were you able to discern of the enemy's encampment?
I did see a lot, but Adam is the one with the greater memory.
Well, I believe this is settled, friend. Adam must be retrieved, but at no cost of our own. Show of hands, friends, who will go?
I will go.
No, Susanna, that's out of the question.
But
Adam would never allow it. I'm sorry. Once more, friends, please. I will cry. Jacob, thank you. Reverend.
John Moore has been a member of my congregation for many years. He has always listened to me. I feel it will be important to have me there across the earth.
Very well. Thank you, Reverend. Friends, we'll go in unarmed and as a truce. Set out at first light.
By this point, elsewhere, Lieutenant Colonel Francis Locke of Rowan County, under orders of General Rutherford of the Continental Army, had begun to gather his own small forces in hopes to break up the Loyalist strength under Lieutenant Colonel John Moore. Moore and others continue on, unaware of a secret gathering of local patriots.
The paper.
Let's see.
Adam Reap, you stand here on the grounds of treason and spite. Your death will be made quick. Have you any final words?
I will be a martyr. My death will only spark the rebel uprising. See your business, John Moore.
I mean to. Oh my! You are truly a hard man to kill, and a thorn in my side.
Sir,
This should do
urgent
it.
business.
I can only assume you came here for this dead man.
We're here unarmed and in peace. Just want to talk, John.
You have put yourselves at my mercy. What is to keep me from putting each and every one of you to death at this very moment?
The day may come when there is a fight, but it is none of our desire that that day be the day.
You have seen our camp. You have information. Why would I let you leave?
Why did you let William leave?
Clearly, I took him for a simpleton.
I am no simpleton, you fool!
Sorry, I'm gonna kill them. Let me be the one to fire the first shot at my brother's head.
Calm down. We're just talking.
We've declared no war against you, John.
But Adam Reap has. He has been terrorizing British militia in the Carolinas for years now. I have him here before me, and I intend to make an example.
Give him to us!
Did you not hear anything I just said? Were you listening?
John, stop! Stop this man!
Let us pray!
Oh, God.
Let us pray.
Glorious Lord, please grant your eternal mercy today and save our friend Adam Reap.
Reverend, are you finished?
No. Reverend. Let your shot take me, John. You and Adam have been a member of my congregation for many years, and the Lord has tasked me as shepherd of that flock. I love you and Adam both as I love my own kin, and by God, let my life be taken here today. I give it willingly in the stead of Adam Reap.
Reverend, listen to him.
You may do with Adam as you will, John, but only after you send the bullet through my heart.
John,
don't do it.
Stop. John.
God! Take him with you.
Uncle John, you can't let this traitor get away.
His luck will run out. Not today.
This isn't over, traitor. I'll see you on the battlefield.
Men, go.
Leave. Get him out of here before I change my mind.
You just let our greatest enemy go free. You may live to regret it.
Maybe. But all will be settled soon.
Battlefield be damned. I'll settle this myself. Tonight! Wake up! Wake up, you damn rebels! Come out here to face me!
Kurt Moore? What are you doing here? My children are sleeping.
I'm here for Reap. Where is he? I know he's here. I'll carve his guts out.
He's not here. Neither is my husband.
Liar! Go inside and get the cowards. Tell them I'm here to settle.
Are you off in the head? I told you he's not here.
I will not tell you again. Next time, I'll silence your lying mouth with my knife. God save our gracious King.
Leave now. I'm not afraid to blow your head off your shoulders.
A woman with a gun.
Oh, my father, Johann Warlick, taught me to be a crack shot. And your head's far too large a target to miss.
At least your father was loyal to the king. You're not so lucky to share in his wisdom.
One more step first.
Where's Reap?
Better go, Kurt.
Go.
Christian!
Betsy, we have to get you and the children out of here. Now.
Now!
Yes.
They're torn. We forced the masses nearby.
Listen to me, Betsy. Our home will be in direct contact with the battle, should it occur. Go get the children. We'll get you out of here.
Children, wake up! You must wake up!
Jacob, gather Anne together. Get Betsy and the youngins and bring them to my home. Margaret will be there to receive you.
Thank you. That's good. Betsy, go with Jacob. Me and Anne will take you to the Patton home. Listen, I'll see you there as soon as I can. I promise.
Say,
No, I can't make that promise.
Father, I may come with you.
No, son. That's not wise.
I'm old enough to fight. Michael, please.
Listen to me, boy. I need you to go with your mother and your siblings. I'm putting you in charge of their safety, okay? Can you do this for me, son?
Yes, Father.
Boy, I'll see you all soon. See you all soon. Thank you, Jacob.
And so the night wore on, as the men warned the neighboring people, and the women and children gathered at the home of Joseph and Margaret Patton.
What are you writing?
Nothing to be concerned about.
You would not be here alone for pointless musings.
It is my journal. I've kept it since the war began, and I've been writing my experiences.
Your experiences in battle.
Yes.
Can you speak of those things?
They are not for your ears, my dear Margaret. That is why they must remain here in my journal. The best decision I ever made was to marry you and to start a family. And yet, something feels missing. Like a part of me is gone.
Joseph, what are you saying? What are you talking about?
Lieutenant Colonel Locke is raising a patriot militia with plans to move on Moore and his militia.
Locke, you fought under him in Rowan County.
Yes, if Locke fails, this will be the beginning of the end of our fight for independence. This cannot fail, Margaret. It cannot.
I know what you are about to tell me, but I am so afraid to hear it.
Locke has requested my assistance in this fight.
You are no longer in service or under his
That
command.
is why he only requested.
Then say no.
I'm afraid I cannot do that.
You promised, Joseph. You promised.
Yes, I promised. But that was before war came to our own land and threatened the lives of our friends. My family.
You promised.
You are the love of my life. No matter what happens, that will not change. I love you with all that is in me.
I love you, but I hate you also. Please forgive me, but I cannot see you up. I cannot watch your back as you turn away from us.
It is time. Christian, Lieutenant Colonel Locke awaits.
Just a moment, my wife.
Susanna, where do you think you're going?
There's no point in stopping me, Adam, so don't try. I'm coming, and that's the end of it.
Does she really think she is going to fight?
Papa, Papa, please do not leave us.
Go with your mother. Go with your mother.
Christian, you keep my boys safe. I'll be home before you know it. Michael, where are you going? Mother, I'm going to fight.
that you have there? And what are you gonna do with that? Tickle him to death? You stick close to your father. Do you understand me, son? Yes,
I love you too, Mother. He will be safe. He will be with Christian. He will be with William. They will come home. You must be strong for your loved ones.
The uncertainty of goodbye is hard to bear. Many husbands and wives said their final farewells that day. It is the harsh reality of war, one that is most difficult to accept. Meanwhile, the men joined Colonel Locke in preparation before the upcoming attack.
Captain Falls.
Yes, sir.
You have 270 men under your command, correct?
270, including officers. Ready and waiting for a fight.
As are we all. Well, I should put it at over 400 men. That should be more than sufficient. Even though, as Adam Reed tells us, Colonel Moore has over 1,300, he can be defeated. We have the element of surprise. Hope it stays that way. Captain Dickey?
Yes, sir.
No word from General Rutherford?
No, sir, not since we sent our last message. I'm afraid we may be alone here, sir.
I'll send a courier with Colonel Johnston telling General Rutherford we march for Ramsar's Mill tonight. When we're finished here, alert the men. Leave in 3 hours.
Yes, sir.
All right, here's our plan. The cavalry begin the attack. The infantry will come in from both sides, provide crossfire. Now the enemy will return fire. When they retreat to reload, the main force will come up the center. At that point in time, the flank should be reloaded for another volley. That is our first plan of attack. After that, leave it to each officer to his own judgment. We attack at sunrise. Now, even though we're outnumbered, Adam Reed's intelligence tells us that they have no cannons, few horses, and they're shorter rifles, correct?
Yes, sir. They do have some sharpshooters, and Colonel Moore was at the Battle of Charlestown. Our biggest advantage is that they have no idea that this force exists, or yet that we have marched and are now on their outskirts.
He fog like this at Ramsar's Mill.
Oh, it's usually much foggier than here, sir. You can only see about 50 feet ahead of you on most mornings.
Get scattered in a fight, it'll be hard to tell a friend from a foe.
I have a suggestion, sir.
Go ahead, Ensign Patton.
This, sir. A bit of paper. Each man tears off a piece and puts it in the band of his hat. Easy to distinguish from the enemy.
Very good. See to it.
Sir.
Now, everyone, get some rest. You'll need it for what's to come. Reed?
Yes, sir.
You know the most direct route to the mill? You lead us there. Remember, men, our success depends on complete secrecy. Reverend, a prayer before we're dismissed?
As you wish. Dear Father, the time has come. We are now to prepare for this fight and pick up our arms. We do not do this lightly, God. This is our land, our homes. And some of these men will not take a breath tomorrow. Guide us, Lord. Direct us. And if it is your will, grant us a victory. In your Son's name we pray, amen.
Gentlemen, and Smith.
My friends, before we depart, there is something I would like to say. Through all of time, God has led me to this moment to be with you. And for that, I am forever grateful. No matter what happens, may God bless you all.
May God bless you, Reverend. Well, friends, I suppose I shall take my rest, if I can. I never thought this war would come. I certainly never thought I would join it. Strange times, friends. Strange times indeed. To rest, Christian. Sleep, Christian. See you all in a few hours. Michael, what are you doing here, son?
Father, I'm fighting by your side.
Who's here now? Come along, son. I'll teach you everything.
Young boys and girls fighting in our wars. Where do we go from here?
Adam, a word, please.
Sure, friend.
I must ask a favor of you. Anything. In the event I didn't make it out of this tomorrow, will you please give this to Margaret?
Joseph, let us not speak of such things.
We are both men of war, Adam. We both know the consequences of what will happen tomorrow, whether we see victory or defeat. Yes, I've been so troubled lately. Something tells me my time has come, but I must do what I can tomorrow to see a patriot victory.
I understand your feelings. I will hold this for you, but when you make it out of this, you will give it to her yourself.
Thank you, my friend. May God be with you.
I sure hope so.
Well, you've had a run of good luck thus far.
Let us just hope I do not run into John Moore again. Susanna.
I can't believe she did it. What? Susanna, she's going to fight.
She made up her mind. She got what she wanted, and I do not know that she will live through it.
And please.
I don't wish it, but we shall see.
This waiting is unbearable.
And yet we must do it. It's best to keep your mind on other things.
What other things?
How about strappingly handsome men coming to bear you away to an island where they do the knitting, the cooking, and the cleaning?
I am a widow now. I can let my mind wander to such things.
Who else will be a widow by tomorrow?
We'll leave it to Margaret to take us all back to reality.
I'm sorry. It's just Joseph was so distant tonight. Even when telling me that he had to leave, he was somewhere else in his mind.
Margaret, dear, men are always somewhere else in their minds. That's why they leave home so often to go off on these adventures.
An adventure? Is that what this is?
Margaret, dear, tell you the truth. Jesting is how I cope with the possibility of losing Christian. And dear God, Michael, too.
I'm sorry I got upset.
It's all right. We're all worried. No matter what. We're in this together.
Dear God, I beg of you, please, do not take my boys away from me. I have already lost my Alexander. I don't think I could bear another loss. But if it be your will that my family is to end in this way, make me strong. I have lost my husband. I cannot bear to lose my boys. They are all that I have left. Please, dear God, please.
We waited in agony through the night, not knowing what would become of our loved ones. Be it victory or death, we were helpless. As the morning approached, Colonel Moore gathered his men together for final plans before he himself took action. Little did he know that Colonel Locke was nearly there with just over 400 men for what he hoped would be a surprise attack.
It's quite a nasty morning, sir.
Sir, what ails you?
Something doesn't feel right. Maybe it's only the fog.
The worst I've seen in years. What are we doing today? More drills?
Yes, more of the same, I'm afraid. The men, they're getting restless. They want to fight.
But sir, are we not under the orders of Cornwallis to refrain from fighting?
Yes, we are. He wants us ready to join him when needed.
But do you want to fight?
Any man of war itches for the next fight. But duty comes before personal feelings.
Yes, but will the fight come?
I have no doubt it will. And we will be ready when it comes. I will teach you.
Cover yourself! Quickly! Reload if you have the powder! Reload! Michael! Quickly, hurry!
no fight for me. You go back to the men. You go home to Margaret.
Joseph, I didn't
You're
know.
mine, Pat! Watch out! Adam! Christian! Jacob! William!
This looks nice.
You're next, Reed! Joseph! Kurt!
What do you say, Kurt? Let's make this a little more personal.
It's your funeral.
What would your uncle think of you now, Kurt? For Joseph! Adam Reed, John Moore, at last.
Sir, General Rutherford is coming with 1,000 men to reinforce the wings.
No! Retreat! No! Across the creek! No! Retreat! Over the face me! John Moore! You coward! No! It's over. It's over now. The battle is over. Our friends and family lay dead. It's over. Adam. Joseph! Joseph! Don't worry. I will make sure she gets it. John! Rest now. Joseph Patton. Please, brother. Please. Please stay with me.
Jacob! Thank God you're alive. What is that in your hat? That white paper? What is that?
We wore some paper so we could find each other in the fog. Those damn loyalists used them as targets. We held our own, Eddie, but we lost a lot of good men today. Help who you can. Moore's men fought bravely. But the fog and the familiarity of the land is on our side. And besides, this is our land. This is our home. We're not about to let this go without a fight.
Papa, Papa!
John? John, no! John, you are not leaving me! John, stay with me! What do they do with the bodies, Christian? Some of these men are unrecognizable!
We will gather them. All of them. Regardless of the side. These men were friends. They were family. They were all soldiers. They all deserve the honorable burial.
I'm so sorry.
We were tasked with burying the poor men, but we were unable to do it properly. Unable to tell one side from the other, we were forced to bury them in mass unmarked graves. My husband, John Martin, succumbed to his wounds not long after battle. He was loyal to Colonel John Moore until the end.
Ramsar's Mill was the beginning of the change of fortune. Change in the tide of the war itself. That fall there was another victory at Kings Mountain. And these Lincoln County boys fought there. And then that winter another victory, this time at the Cowpens in South Carolina. The tide of the war was turning indeed.
Lord Cornwallis was feeling the pressure. He was losing ground in the Southern campaign, so he burned his supply and baggage train. Little did he know, had he not burned his supply train, he would not have been surrounded a year later by General Washington at Yorktown.
Colonel John Moore had another narrow escape at the Battle of Kings Mountain. Rumor has it he was later captured and hanged near Waterloo. At Yorktown, a peninsula on the Virginia coast, Cornwallis found himself alone. Washington was moving down from the north, and General Greene was coming up from the south, and a fleet of French ships provided by the Marquis de Lafayette lay just off the coast, keeping him from resupplying his men. His only option was total and unconditional surrender.
Lord Cornwallis could not handle the humiliation of surrender, so he sent his second in command, General Charles O'Hara, to deliver the sword of surrender to the French-American commanders. As irony would have it, the man appointed by Washington was the namesake of the county who had started the momentum for the rebels, General Benjamin Lincoln.
Reuben! Where are they? I'm so sorry,
Father, I came into the battlefield with one thought in mind. If my brother were to die, I had to be the one to do it. Oh, Mama, I'm so sorry.
You're strong.
Joseph? Joseph?
Adam, is he hurt?
Oh, Margaret, he's gone. He asked me to give this to you. How could he have known?
Joseph!
Why was it me? Why did I have to be the one to deliver this news?
Is Mr. Joseph dead?
Yes, Mr. Joseph didn't make it. A lot of good men didn't make it. But there's nothing we can do about it except remember how much we love them and how happy they made us.
You mean like when he used to come over and play solos with us? He was always really bad at hiding. I always found him.
Friends, family, let us go home. We must begin to heal the wounds that have been made, to heal the divisions in this community. We have to celebrate the lives of those that we have left and those we have lost. God, we need you now more than ever. Please find a way to guide us and repair us and make us whole once more. Amen.
Come on, baby, let's go home. Yes, we're gonna go home.
I can't leave him.
He's gonna come home with us. He's gonna come home with us.
We're going to take
I'm sorry.
Take my boy home,
My dearest Margaret, I have written this message many times, each more difficult than the last. I love you, Margaret, with all my heart and all my soul, and I do not want to have to tell you goodbye, but it must be done. Raise our son, my love, and with your bravery, continue on, my love. Do not let our story end here.
I could have laid upon that ground for days. The ground where we were to raise our children, to live out our days together in peace. I felt lost, groping in the dark. But I could not give up. It would have never been my wish to have my Joseph die before me. But I believe that it leaves me the duty, the honor, to tell his story, to tell their story.
Margaret, we're gonna take him home. Come on, dear.
I forced myself to go on. I could not abandon my husband I could not let this memory fade. I began with my son. I made sure he knew who his father was and what he had given to ensure our freedom. I spent hour upon hour reading the events that he had recorded in his journal. I spoke with many of the men who fought by his side. I could not let their memory die on that misty mill ground. I had to make sure that people remembered the battle. The battle that cost so many lives, yet changed all of our lives. I had to tell the story of the men who fought so courageously and audaciously. Their story, it does not end here. It is a story to be told time and time again. The story of the thunder over Carolina.